Good morning, Shannon. I can only see your forehead and your wall art, but your wall art is beautiful. So I was still working out the kinks in this class when I first posted it to Facebook. And I wasn't sure how many people were going to end up joining. And I wasn't sure how much I wanted to advertise it around before I was like certain of all of the ins and outs. So I don't know if I should expect anyone besides you and me today, and I might just do a short blurb that I can share to Facebook later.
Okay.
And it'll just be you and me hanging out for a short bit. Woo.
You get to see the top of my head because my screen has decided that there's the connection between the screen and the computer is going wonky. So if it's not at this angle, it flashes like, it's trying to, make me epileptic.
Epileptic seizures type things. Yeah.
It's great. My screen's going out, so.
I do not understand how many different video glitches are consistently permitted to exist, even though they basically put the brain into seizures. It's pretty exciting to me in its own weird way. Oh my goodness. So it is 10:02, so I am going to go ahead and see if I can make sure. Do I just basically look backlit right now? I do, don't I?
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, try turning this around. And apparently making my Zoom meeting just turn into a white screen, because that's what I meant to do. You see this direction, you end up getting a horrible blah. No, hold on. Do not do that. Close your face. This way you just end up seeing the fence behind me. I still have my throne, by the way.
Yay!
I have my throne. Just that I haven't had an excuse to make you one yet. Everything with this entire year went a little bit sideways, but
it did.
I'll be excited
really
about
did.
next year.
Definitely.
It's not a comment on you, darling.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm. My coffee tastes more like tea. That's disappointing. There, that is better, isn't it? You can actually see me now.
We have TV on in the background. Can you hear it very much?
Not in the slightest.
Okay. Good. All right. We're good then.
I have birds and crickets on in the background. Can you hear them? I kind of hope you can.
No, actually.
Oh, it's a shame. And so, like, it's kind of perfect out here. Oh, and Shannon, I haven't really gotten to show you around the house. Totally random. You see that wall of trees and bush and stuff back there? There's a creek back there. It's down, it's like back another 6 feet into the greenery and down like 8 feet. There's an actual creek, not just a drainage ditch that goes through this area that happened to line up with the back of this property. And there's even a little swimming hole in the back corner over there where there's a waterfall and a cute little swimming hole. I love it.
I didn't realize Jennifer's property had that.
Oh my God, honey, you missed it. We moved. This isn't Jennifer's house anymore.
Oh.
We got a rental. We're actually about a 10-minute drive from Mom's on purpose. We wanted to stay close. But we needed our own space. We couldn't wait until we could get a big country property. We needed our own space right now.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And so we now have a 3-bed, 2-bath little rental house. It's small. It's perfect, but it's small.
Cool.
We have an open floor plan, living room, dining room area that I just call the ballroom because it looks like one. And
Hopefully
a
not
very
caught
nice
in
kitchen.
time.
What?
Hopefully not caught in time.
Not all the time? What?
Hopefully not caught in time.
Oh.
Like the ballroom at the one house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, we have a nice little kitchen that opens off of it with newer appliances, and it's nice. I like it. I like it a whole
Good.
bunch.
Sounds nice.
We live with our with our friend Kim now, and I actually signed the lease half an hour, or finished signing the lease half an hour before I was laid off.
Oh wow.
It was terrifying. Mhm. That's
You've
why
had
I
a lot
went
of
kind of
things going
radio
on.
silent for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got laid off and had to decide whether or not I still wanted to move. And I decided I did. But that it was crazy, but that I was sure I could do it. And we have been living here for almost a month now. We've already paid rent successfully once. Woo! And I've been waiting to get onto unemployment officially, but the state makes it a little bit more complex. So I've been working in counseling and giving readings and whatnot lately to fill the gap, because it's a decent sized gap, but it's working remarkably well. It is working.
Good.
I've already been working as a priestess in the community for long enough. I'm a known commodity, etc. And I've had all these questions about, like, we really do need more pagan therapists. Do you know anyone? Well, technically, yes, me, but I'm so busy, I'd always say. So now I'm trying to just offer my services as a therapist and see what I can do to help people
Awesome.
in the real life adult world, which is a big part of where this class came from. How to happy is, and I'm talking to my co-priestess right now, Shannon. Um, you know that when you go through and you help somebody to connect to their deeper inner spirit, when you help somebody to find their inner truth, when you're working with someone on the regular, one of the biggest things that keeps coming up in training along those lines is how to happy. It's how to relax into your own best world and what that looks like.
Yeah.
And there's very few things that are more terrifying for folks. I'm not allowed to happy. What do you speak of? No. um, so I not only have to find out what other people's happy looks like, but help convince them that they're allowed to. Um, but the answers are remarkably consistent. And I have spent, honestly, from my first couple of students, a very long time ago now, I guess I was 19 and 20 when I took on my first student, until now, I have consistently ended up falling back to the same truths. Happiness in my life might not look like happiness in your life, but it's still going to involve a diet that empowers my body and helps me to feel good, which comically rarely has to do with weight loss.
Yeah.
Weight loss is something that makes people unhappy. And if you aren't making life changes, it doesn't tend to do a lot of good long term, except for the I have to lose 20 pounds right now, in which case it serves its purpose.
The actual weight loss makes you happy, but the getting there, it doesn't.
Sometimes, yeah. And a lot of times people don't realize that the ends do not ever really justify the means. If the means are not good and helpful for you, then no, do not do that. Um, you want to be able to lose weight in a way that actually empowers you and makes you feel good. Charlie and I both lost like 40 pounds. Yeah, I'll open my shirt when no one can see me. We both lost like 40 pounds over last year. I got much skinnier. Yes, Shannon, I see the look on your face. I did actually have 40 pounds to lose.
Oh, no, that's not the look.
Oh, it's my shirt. Yes, Mother's Day present. Mother's Day present. Yes. This is me.
I like it.
I know, right? Isn't it the best thing ever? I love it. But no, we both lost 40 pounds. I maxed out at 179. I don't know that I ever quite hit 180, and I'm back down to 135.
I don't think I've weighed that much since high school.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm sorry. I feel like I should apologize. But let's see if I can get some better light. I'm gonna take my laptop for a walk and see if I can get some better light. Let's see. What do you think? Boop, doop, boop, 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 boop. I think I can. I think I can. Perhaps. Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. So the diet issue thing is fairly straightforward in that like good healthy foods make you feel better. And it's only a matter of getting the right ones that your body can enjoy and process and feel good. I call them happy body foods, and they vary based on each person's metabolism. Shannon, you yourself, I remember when you were pregnant and fighting that gestational diabetes, how much you hated it, but you also felt really good after every meal. Except when your stomach was fighting you, and we won't even go into the like indigestion issues. But after your meals, you'd be like, oh, wow, I really do feel great. Holy cow. Like, me too. And happy body meals are a big deal, but they aren't as big of a deal, but they're far more of a big deal overall than losing weight, even though that's sometimes an end result. And Charlie and I have been able to explain dietary changes to his family who are trying to lose weight by saying, hey, it's all about the flavor. You have to make sure that you're actually enjoying eating. You're allowed to enjoy food and still lose weight. But diet's also a big part of what kind of nutrients do you need based on what your body's restrictions are. So some people who have issues, did you know bay leaves help with diabetes?
I did not.
They will actually increase your body's production of insulin in a healthy way if you just include them as a flavoring in your food.
I have no problem with bay leaves. I usually just eat it with like vegetable stew, but
Right? Right? And they're so potent, they've actually been studied, and they were being studied right before those miracle drugs came out that help people moderate their diabetic. There were no medicines, and now there are after they started studying bay leaves. But that's all I know about the matter. I'm just going to draw out the coincidence and leave it at that. There are a lot of situations where minor adjustments, minor additions to diet can make a huge difference. But that's only one of the topics, because how you deal with your relationships is one. And not just romantic and not just friendship, but how you actually build your relationships to build you is a big part of how to happy. When I leave my phone on the table, I don't have my notes. Did you know? When we are going through our day-to-day lives, how we talk to ourselves, how we listen to ourselves internally is a big part of how to happy. How much exercise we get, how we self-talk, but also how we talk with our children and the people around us, and whether or not we're setting ourselves up for enough space, enough time, and how much we organize our environment for that matter. If we have our world set up in the right ways, where we get enough sunshine, where we get enough sunshine and nutrients and activity and good, solid friendship, if we allow ourselves to find the divine at the right moments to help give us direction, if we allow ourselves to feel like our lives have meaning, then we are more likely to feel happy on a daily basis with no additional effort. But
Yep.
a big part of it is that there are only so many hours in the day. It is currently 10:15 in the morning, 10:17 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm looking at the rest of my day going, okay, so what all do I have left to do? I was just telling Shannon about how I had managed to do all kinds of moving. Blew out my back. Didn't mean to. I've had a bunch of stuff going on. I ended up with what appears to be a bulging disc in my upper spine as well as a break in my lower spine.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm currently on self-imposed bed rest so that I don't require things like CT scans and x-rays to find out how bad my back actually is right now.
Wow.
I'm not in screaming pain because I'm resting. I also have work that I need to do on my laptop. I'm out of work. I need to send in resumes. I am also working on these classes. I have to make sure that I'm here for everybody for this class. I also have the kids' schoolwork that I have to help out with, where they were really behind last week. We've almost got them caught up. There's cleaning, there's organizing, there's work. There's all this stuff I have to do. But I also have to rest my back. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yep.
How do I sit down and rest enough, including last night when I suddenly at 9 p.m., me at 9 p.m., I never do this at 9 p.m., crashed. Could not function. I was so tired. I passed out cold. I lost some time last night, so I need to catch up on all kinds of things. There's only so many hours in the day. Now, do I stress myself out and worry about it?
Just do what you can.
Yeah. So I'm going to go inside and sit down with my laptop again whenever I get off of this and start working on some of the stuff I haven't done yet and just see how well I can squeeze it in. Man, do I have things, lists and lists of things to get done.
Yep.
But if you do it right, you don't make yourself crazy. If you let
It's
yourself relax and take it easy, it doesn't have to be hard. And even
it's
if you do have to be busier than that and there's no time to rest and take it easy, there's still the ability to enjoy it.
it's allowing yourself to relinquish control over everything because you
Right.
can't control everything.
No. My back reminded me. I can't control everything. I do need to try where I can,
Of
but I
course.
also need to recognize where I can't. That sounds like some motto somewhere by somebody.
Yeah.
Give me, what is it? The courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the things or the patience to know the things I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's part of it. Each week, I am planning on covering a lot of the different inspirations that I have had in my own life, that I've run across while I've been working with people. But I'm going to pick one subject a week and let everybody join in. I might have a second getting to know you initial class. Because, see, let me go ahead and explain for everyone who's not here right now. I'm going to try and get this recorded so I can share this with everyone who's not here right now.
Right.
I am looking at a whole lot of grass seeds all over my body. This class is aimed to work with people's schedule and people's lives, which is actually why I planned it during the day, in the middle of the week on a work day, is because folks can either take a long lunch and join in for at least part of it, or a lot of the people that I talk with are folks either working night shift as a server or bartender or something, or they're stay-at-home moms with their kids, or frankly, a lot of us are working remotely and we might be able to squeeze in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
I would love to have anyone who feels like they could benefit from this in the class, because I think that being able to meet face to face and discuss is an important part of this, especially since we all think that, yeah, it makes sense, but not for me. Most classes, especially talking about being happy, we're like, I love that, but it doesn't work in my life because I have kids, dogs, responsibilities, things that don't fit into this, and nobody likes me anyway, because let's be honest, I know me. Except that's not true. And for most of us, we are actually intended to be happy. You would not believe how many different, well, you, Shannon, you are the only person who would believe how many people I have had this conversation with. We are not supposed to be far from the divine or far from each other, and we aren't used to the concept that all of us is invited in the door all the time. It's just not something that happens. So when we are sitting and relaxing and thinking our happy thoughts, part of us is always going, yeah, the world's a great place, just not for me. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's change the way that whole storyline is built. Let's make this better. Let's go ahead and build this up for each of us. So I am going to try and sit down with anyone who wants to be in this class long term. And I want to meet y'all, and I want to talk with you, and I want to hear about what's going on with you. And the cool thing is this class is going to be offered free every week, indefinitely, until I run out of things to talk about. And the good news is, when it comes to talking about how to happy, there's a remarkable number of ways that we can enable ourselves to happy in general. And then after each class, I would like to share it. I would like to record it and at least share snippets of the class that I can post out there in the greater world, because we all deserve to happy. We all do. There's even this great book called Happy Yoga that taught me all about how to happy. There's all of these things out there that explain to us how we all deserve it if we're willing and able to listen. So I am going to keep having these weekly free classes, and I'm also going to offer counseling. Like I was discussing with Shannon earlier, therapy is something that I would like to focus on, because the pagan community has been needing this for a long time, to just have some of us out there who can work as therapists with everyone. I am not a certified psychologist or whatnot. I will work on some formal certifications to make sure that y'all can have full faith in me, I will work on some certifications. I do also have 20 years in the field and a degree under my belt, just not in that. More, I've tried to focus on religious studies by kind of going at it sideways, admittedly. Um, I've been working as a priestess for a very long time, and at this point, I have found that most friends I meet who say, the one good therapist I said, or I ever had, said a lot of the same things that you do. And I've had a conversation like that many, many times with many, many people, which is a little nerve wracking because apparently I'm doing it right. But apparently, y'all, I'm doing it right. And I would like to be able to help you if it would be of assistance. Most therapists charge about $125 an hour, and then you get like this $25 an hour discount. So we're all paying $100 an hour. I will not charge anything near that. Nowhere near it. I wouldn't charge anything except I can afford to help people more if I can afford to help people more. So, if anybody ends up interested in that, please reach out to me on a personal level. But either way, I will be here every single week indefinitely. Although I might have to change the time if I do get a day job. If I get a full-time job, y'all, I'm going to take it. If I don't need a full-time job, y'all, I will be here indefinitely. So let me know if I can help anybody with classes of a specific nature. I'm willing to I want to work on ordination courses. I've been saying that for long enough. I'm sure you will no longer believe me. But no, I really am working on it. And I really would like everyone to get a worthwhile certification. I still have all of the same curricula in place. And now, thanks to Zoom meetings and oddly enough, the coronavirus, I am more comfortable teaching ordination classes. There's lots of things on the way through the guild. Like a lot of things coming. And sadly, few of them are visible right now. So I'm also going to be working on getting more information out into the guild to help us help each other. With Shannon's help, Shannon had so many great ideas. Shannon, you have had so many great ideas just talking with you briefly. It's been wonderful. And we're going to try and start working in 2 different city centers and have both of them working at the same time doing different things. It's going to be exciting. But for right now, I think I've covered all of the basics of where we're going with this class thing. Did I leave Shannon with any unresolved questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Does it all sound like it makes sense? Does it all sound like it works?
Yep.
Like I keep talking to us, as in the people who haven't seen the recording yet. But Shannon, I did want to talk with you, and this is the point where I'm hopefully going to be able to clip the recording. We'll see. I don't know. It's just us bullshitting for a minute. Does this all make sense now? Like you and I weren't able to talk on the phone for very long, and I'm sorry. And I didn't
Okay.
rush into this, but I also wanted to get a feel for it with a blind start, how it would actually work out.
Yeah.
Without me doing anything to promote this, and I couldn't invite people to this event the way I used to invite people to events. I have no idea what happened. My phone would not let me at all. I could post it as newsfeed, and I wasn't sure what to write with it. Or I could post it as a message to 1,000 people. I don't like it. So I need to figure out how to invite people to these events better. I'm assuming I just have to use my laptop. But I invited nobody. It ended up in front of 85 people. 3 people said they were interested. You're the only one who showed up, which was cool because to a certain extent, this was an experiment week 1. And now that I've been talking about a weekly class that's going to be on Wednesdays at 10, I'm hoping I can put up a second one and people will just be like, oh yeah, it's the weekly class.
Yeah.
And I still managed to get that much exposure. So fingers crossed, this is going to be a good thing. And I've already got clearance to share it far and wide, and I'll probably end up with more people in it.
Yeah.
What do you think? You're the only one here. You're the only one who's seen it so far. Format work? you think the format works?
Yeah, I think it should work. I know when we get more people in, though, we may want to make sure that people are muting themselves to eliminate background noise. But other than that, I think it'll work.
I think I'll go ahead and tell them, like, assume that if I can hear your voice, I'm listening to you, because I'm assuming you have a question or comment, and input and feedback in this class is very important. So please mute unless you have a question or a comment or something. In which case, by all means. I don't care if I hear screaming children. It might be both ways, honestly. Let's see. But yeah. And then I want to take at least snippets of it and turn them into videos that I can share, which is why I was trying to make sure I had decent visuals on it, which was remarkably difficult.
Actually, the spot you're in right now is pretty good. At least for this time of the day.
Right? The sun goes in this great, beautiful arc, shining this side of the house, but like right over the back of our house. It's pretty amazing. So our backyard is always lit until it is blackness.
Nice.
And it's kind
Sounds
of
like the perfect yard for you.
You gotta come see my new house. It's great. I love it. Ooh, I can show you the creek if I still have to drive that far. I'm going to take this and show you the creek because you are my friend and I want to show you. Can you still see me? Am I breaking up at all?
Nope.
Okay. Good. And the sun is at just the right angle.
Nice.
Can you see it?
Yep.
I've got some poison ivy that's in the way, but there's there. I think you can see through the trees down there, that beautiful clear pond.
Mm-hmm.
It's just little. But it's big enough to go splash around. And it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of a waterfall when it's raining, which it hasn't been for weeks. Except in little fits and starts that just keep the grass green. But yeah, Shannon, I am so sorry that I was having such a hard time being able to just chat with you for a while there.
That's all right.
And obviously, there are a lot of moving parts in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, we moved. I lost my job. I was about to start looking, but I was hoping I'd have a couple of weeks. The good news is I got a severance package and I have unemployment. The bad news is the two jobs that were fighting over me, neither of them said yes. And so now I'm in this awkward position where I want to be able to get a new job, but the one I really, really wanted had to pass for right now.
Honestly, that will make you more relatable to other people this year, because there's been a lot of people that have been fighting with that.
Yeah. And I've been looking for different opportunities and the right opportunities, because at this point I'd rather get the right job if I have the luxury, and if I'm not going to get the right job, I'd rather work on being self-employed.
Right.
And so far I'm doing okay at that. My income per week is not horrible. Thank you, Guild community. And I've been blowing some people's minds with my past life readings, which are pretty freaking cool. I'm really thrilled to say that. And I had one woman over here just the other day and got to have a real deep heart-to-heart with her, and I haven't heard from her since then, which makes me self-conscious. I'm like, how badly did I blow her mind? I do not know. I hope that she's okay.
I definitely think that is an experience worth charging for.
Yeah. Congratulations. I know you're innermost and you don't have to, but you can. Oh, good. I'm putting grass seeds into my keyboard. But yeah, so Apologies. So anyway, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Jennifer has had been really struggling with having us around full time and was very frustrated with the whole world and having kids being around the house at all or having people just commenting on her moods was making it much harder for her to keep a chin up. And when all we were asking was for her to keep a positive attitude, and she couldn't keep a positive attitude with us around at all, we're like, okay, I gotta go. We gotta go. Like, I love you, but you have to be cheerfuler than this. You must. So now we've managed to come out on the other side. And I just got to go visit Mom's house yesterday, and it's looking very nice. And we got to take her to a really cool opportunity that we had, where on Thursday we found out we could be in a video for the Women's Fund of Central Indiana on Friday and Sunday. And we had to be in Indy for filming at such and such of a time. And like, yes. So I invited Mom along and she got to be part of it. And it was so cute. She got to feel beautiful and special and part of the family. And I would have invited everyone I knew in Lafayette, but I wasn't sure if I was allowed, first of all. And second of all, it was like, you must come on Sunday. And thirdly, COVID concerns, like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You really want to come down to a park on Sunday and be part of a filming event? I'm not sure you do. I don't know. I could be wrong. So, yeah, we've managed to do a lot. And I need to put together a sketch for that because I get to design a fountain for a peace garden in Indianapolis, Shannon.
That's awesome. I love that.
He asked, the guy who's doing all this stuff asked if there was a way that we could naturally filter water so it could be used as part of a peace garden and still be a fountain. I said, yes. And I know how to do that and I could design it for you. He's like, okay, do. I said, you realize materials for this are probably going to be $1,000. He's like, that's fine. We'll make it work.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the things I have to work on today. I have to work on the sketch for that. I have to get my resume out more formally to more places. And I have to check on my budget, keep up with the kids' classes, and rest my back. I think that's it. That might be it. Fingers crossed. I don't know. That's all I've got going on today. Anyway.
Just, that's it, not much.
Yeah. Yeah, reassemble my resume from the last few years, make sure it's all in the right order, and then go ahead. Yep, that's right. I thought it.
Do what you can.
I know. And for me, that's what I've been doing. Just focus on the positive. Try not to focus on the negative. Do what I can. Stay ahead and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, my hustle game has been real and it has been successful. So
yeah,
hopefully I will be able to work with everybody on a really good level and be able to put this class in snippets out online while I'm cleaning grass seeds off the top of my foot because sitting in the grass, it's insane. But yeah, holy crap. Anything new and exciting on Shannon's end, on your end, before I get off of this like one-on-one conversation that was going to be a meeting?
Well, there was the goddess retreat.
Oh, how did that go? Was it all online this year?
It was online this year. It had to be.
Yeah.
But it was still something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still necessary.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out where the next part of my path goes and kind of fit some more pieces from my past into place. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
So I get to explore a few things with
Am I
that.
allowed to ask? Where are you headed? What's new?
Well, I found out the reason for my staff that I made, like at the beginning of me priestessing for hell. I figured
Yeah.
out the meaning for my staff and the use for my staff.
That's so much fun. I love it when those finally come through years after the fact. Because me too.
So I get to explore that, and so that's going to be fun and weird at the same time.
I'm sure. I'm sure. It always seems to be, right?
Pretty much always, you know.
Mm. Congrats. That's a big deal.
Um, let's see. I got to help Carly's niece
Mhm.
with a problem she was having recently. It was kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, my niece is having this problem, and would you mind coming over? Like, okay, sure.
See team goodness then.
hmm
Yeah.
Um, other
That's
than
how a lot of
that,
them goes. That's how a lot of them go.
yeah,
Like Charlie and I got involved. What was it? Oh, Shannon, I didn't tell you about this one. I goofed an exorcism. I goofed. I didn't mean to. It was really bad. Kim, who I moved in with, the reason I moved in with her specifically is because she was staying with her friend, and her friend was pretty good chick, very thoughtful and kind, except when she moved in with her, it didn't seem so much thoughtful and kind. It was a little confusing. It seemed like she was, I don't know, not as worried about anybody else's feels than her own. And it took a while to realize that this woman appears to just not reckon emotions the way that other people do. She just doesn't get it. Um, and it kind of runs in the family, and that Kim had a feeling that Grandpa was even worse. Now, this was someone who her life ended up in a really bad way because of where she was staying, and I'm not going to go into all kinds of details on this.
right.
But Kim's life ended up really uncomfortable in a really bad way. She really needed to move. I mean, there's a point where leaving the house a mess is one thing. Working with COVID patients in the hospital and then leaving your scrubs on the floor around someone who's high risk is another.
Yeah,
It's really bad. That's like life threatening at that point.
right.
And that was just one of the examples of how this was really bad for Kim. There were many more. So Kim is talking about moving in with us and everything, and talking about getting away, and I'm really kind of concerned that there are some things that are piling up heavily against Kim, where we need to get her out sooner than later. It is bad news. And she points out that there's this grandfather spirit who had passed on for a while that might be passing through the different roommates and making them feel yucky. And as soon as she says that, I'm like, hold on, wait a second. Nope, there he is. You remember when we found those slippery suckers before, where you really only get one chance to get a full view of them, a full grab on these different metaphysical beings before they're just gone?
hmm
They'll figure out that we've figured out that they exist,
Yeah.
and they'll stay hidey. Well, guess
hmm
what? This was one of them, and I'm like, I'm not going to get another chance with this guy. Let's see if I can go ahead and take care of him right now.
Yeah.
So I asked the goddess for help, and she's like, don't worry, I'm bigger than he is, and so are you. And she swells up really big, and I'm like, all right, game on, let's swell up really big. And she's like, haha, see, I am huge. You can just come inside. It is fine. He comes inside. He says, see, you can't kick my ass. You're so big, blah, blah, blah. And then she shrinks down inside of me. We all shrink down with him in the middle, and he goes poof, right? Except he doesn't go poof. He stays roughly the same size. He doesn't go poof at all. And the goddess shrinks down. So I end up kind of sitting there as though this full-size human being is half swallowed through my being. And I'm like, okay, we got to swallow the sucker down, right? And I'm trying to swallow this down. And I forgot that the goddess of light on this side, if brought to a full collapse, turns into the goddess of dark on that side. And remember, I've been working with the goddess of darkness. There shouldn't have been a problem with the transition. I forgot to automatically transition over to the goddess of darkness. Did not pull Lilith in right away. He was stuck halfway in my being. And Charlie got to take, I went into the house really, really off because he was starting to leach into my, it's like this thing, that mess. He was starting to leach into it. And I'm like, Charlie, I need help. Everybody else, it's fine. Don't worry. They didn't believe me at all, but they let Charlie take me to the shower and help me find my way back. I now know how to swallow souls through to the other side. Lilith taught me this. She also made great fun of me because she looked at me and said, you should have known better. What is wrong with you? That was supposed to work. What'd you do? I'm like, I know. My bad. So now I have a cool new trick.
Cool.
Right. But before I did not. Hopefully your exorcism, whatever, what's the word that I've been using before? Something. Anyway, exorcism's easier. How'd your exorcism go? Did yours go more smoothly than that, I hope?
It was basically creating a pouch of different gemstones and stuff to help this person cope and handle the situation that they were going through. But then, you know how there's never just one thing, right? So there was something else that came up that I helped her with too. So, and yeah, it was pretty smooth. It's, you know, me talking to dead people again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like all the time. So
Yeah. I've been wondering how long the line outside of your house has gotten lately.
I haven't tried to feel it out, if I'm honest.
Honestly, I figured you had gotten distracted by life. I wasn't holding it against you at all. And I've wondered how long the line outside of your house has gotten.
Probably pretty long at this point.
I know. Me too. I work with the living as much as the dead, and I know that line's gotten pretty long. So yeah, I'm gonna put together a video of this and a post of this, and now I'm a lot more confident about what I'm gonna be doing over the next few weeks with this. Thank you for meeting with me on this.
Absolutely.
Many times I can use the word this.
Hey, it's better than thing and thing and thing, you know, this thing, that thing, you know.
Right. Like, did you know I had a teacher who used to do that to me? It was like my middle school English teacher. Had a lot of things and things and things like that to say.
Sometimes you just don't know the right word for it. Like sometimes there just isn't an appropriate word for what you want to say. So,
Right. You know, that's what she'd always say. You know?
you know,
Well, you know, we're going to go ahead, you know, and get through this thing, you know.
people use like in that manner a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, you know, everything. Like, you know.
Like, it's just like hard, like, to find the words.
I sat next to somebody, like a booth, you know, next to somebody one time, and the person said like so many times, I started counting.
Mhm.
In my head, I started making a mental count of how many times they were saying this word. It
Yeah.
was funny.
I would periodically with that teacher in middle school start taking tallies of how many times she was saying it. So if I could find one of my old notebooks, I bet I could flip so many pages and there'd be tallies in the margin.
And I met someone recently whose commonly used word is but but but
But I'm
yeah,
bump. Yep.
but but but
What was Cece's? For a while there, she kept dropping this word like amazing or something like that, but I don't remember what it was. God, it was all the time.
AdWills is legit. Everything is legit.
Legit.
Like, this game is legit awesome, or
That's what it was. It was literally. Cece dropped literally all the time. Literally. It was amazing. Literally. I don't know what amazing literally would even mean. But the good news is neither does she. She just said it. It's very cute.
I have to laugh every time she says legit.
If not, you'll start screaming. Legit.
Legit screaming.
And on that note, I'm gonna go and check in with all of my roommates, including the babies and
Sounds
things,
good.
and see what Kim wants to do with this video and see how things are gonna fit together over the next few weeks.
Okay.
I get to get my unemployment card soon, hopefully. I get to change all of my addresses. I get to actually change out all of my debit cards too, because I just had to get a new debit card ordered from my bank account. When I moved, I lost my debit card.
Oh no.
I don't have any idea where the hell it ended up. If I knew, I would have found it by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
They took it.
yeah, probably. I don't know. And it's probably going to show up somewhere in like 3 months. And hey, oh my God, it was here the whole time. My pants pocket in my drawer, something useless like that.
Right.
And God knows, oh, we've got 2 washers to hook up. Remember how I mentioned I have back problems? We have 2 different washers, 1 set of hoses, and all I have to do is actually hook up the hoses and we can start washing things. And then I need to find a rope and we can hang up a clothesline out here to dry the clothes, no problem. I have all this stuff I can be doing. I have a loft bed for Lee and a set of shelves for his room. And I need to get a second loft bed for Asher. And we can start rearranging a cupboard that goes into their closet now that just needs to be cleaned up, wiped down, and repainted. And I could do that myself in a day. But remember how I have back problems and I'm on bed rest? I have all these things I can be doing right now.
Yeah. Gotta love wrenches.
I'm so frustrated. But the good news is I've been helping the kids on all of their homework they're behind on and getting them caught up and helping Charlie get caught up and taking care of my obligations as well. And I have another past life reading tonight at 9:15, and all of these things are actually working, so fingers crossed.
Awesome, awesome.
I just have to learn how to be patient enough with myself that I don't scream at what all I'm not getting done.
Yeah.
So I love you, Shannon. I
Love
miss
you
your
too.
face. I'm so glad I get to see face on grumpy face. I've been moving my paintings, and every time I see all the paintings of my friends and loved ones, I'm like, oh, I want my people. Oh, I see my son trying to disturb my Bam Bam. All right,
All right.
I should go. I love you.
Love you too.
I'll talk with you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
Kim needs toilet paper and told me to quietly get some from your bathroom.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, let me